Of course, the heater decides to come on now. 2025 is over. Wow. Technically, it's not over. It's December 29th. I'm hoping to have this video posted before the end of the year. I was gonna have another video that was supposed to be out probably at the beginning of the month, if not before that. It was a big moving vlog. I just didn't end up finishing it, and this is where we're at. So there will be highlights of that video in this one. Basically, I just kind of wanted to go over what I've done this year as far as the YouTube channel goes. I don't think I've released as many videos as I did in 2024. 2024 was definitely my biggest year as far as YouTube went. I had the most subscribers gained in that year. This year I really didn't have as much as I would have liked. That's totally on me, mostly because I didn't really do any tech review videos. That was the biggest boom to my channel growth. This year, 2025, I was kind of focusing a little bit more on vlogs and just sort of more creative projects. So going over, this last year, I did actually release quite a few videos. I was surprised at how many I actually release. Obviously, some of the highlights and really some videos are not released. I did keep them hidden. This year, I did a lot more with short films. And I don't want to say collaborate with more creatives in my town, but that is definitely one of the things that I did manage to do. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, you always have the videos where I'm gonna set goals and I'm gonna work out more often and this and that, and obviously I did have that video. I think I did an all right job with it, but always falling off the bandwagon on those ones. And again, that it's always those things that I do try to get better. And obviously that is gonna be one of the things that I'm gonna do next year. A couple of the things that I'm pretty stoked to have worked on this year was a documentary series I was doing with my film friend. She's been in a couple of the videos. She had to do like a final project for her film school. And so we did a bunch of little sort of documentary videos on some local businesses. So we got to travel around a little bit. We did stuff in St. Mary's with one of the companies that's out there. There was a couple businesses in town here. One was Toboggan Brewery. Another one was Heroes Comics. And then there was some of the stuff for the actual Fanshawe business program. That was sort of the main focus of all of those other like little documentaries that were part of the project. So that was fun. I was the sort of assistant director, main camera person. I did pretty much all of the drone footage that was in there, helped out with the lighting and the sound. It was good for me to practice on those skills that I was really looking to improve this year. My camera work, my lighting, all those things. Did another one of the Pro versus Student or Kid versus Parent. I think we ended up just calling the series Pro versus Student. And again, it's just me and my daughter Iz. We just go out and do some challenges. This one was actually kind of fun. We were using the Nikon D70 for this particular challenge. It was a photography challenge. And we went to what's called Springbank Park. And this will be one of the things that we remember forever. We ended up getting chased by a goose that was down at the park, because at this area, it's a well-known spot for geese to come and set up nests. When we were walking, it was kind of a overcast and rainy day, and basically we were just down there, and I guess we got pretty close to a nest, and this one friggin' goose just came and kind of chased us down, and we got away from it, and then we started walking back probably a good like 15, 20 minutes later. And I don't know, I feel like they recognized us, and it started chasing us again. It was actually quite scary and humorous at the same time. Canadian geese, they're no joke. They are vicious little animals. One of the big things I did this year, which was really fun, was and I don't even know if I was able to get the footage. I don't think I was, but there was a commercial project it's sort of like it's kind of a documentary, but it's kind of like a true story movie. I was able to work on a behind the scenes for one of the equipment rental companies that's here in town, basically kind of showing off some of the gear that they were using for this project, getting behind the scenes from all the different departments. It was a really cool opportunity, and I met a lot of awesome people that, you know, I still sort of chat with, a couple here and there. It was those kind of opportunities that I really tried to focus on this past year, was getting into those kinds of projects, meeting those kinds of people. And I think it was really good because you get to learn off of different people's experiences and kind of what they do for techniques and stuff. And I really kind of appreciate it. Now I've got a group of people that I can contact and, you know, work with on new and upcoming projects. One of the coolest things that I did was being able to meet and hang out with a YouTube person that I followed for a long time. I went to a Sony event in Toronto, and that was probably, it was just a small event, but they had a handful of I want to say like local YouTubers. Generally, most of them were from sort of the Toronto area, but the one was in town, living in Canada for a while. Eventually met up with her and you know, got to hang out with her for a little bit. And honestly, she is as sweet as she is on YouTube, as in real life. Funny, and yeah, just an overall amazing human being. So I hope I get to hang out with her again at some point, if she ever comes back. But for the most part, it was really cool finally being able to meet her in person. A couple of the other things that I did work on this year was I got involved in I don't know if it's called like a feature film, but it was a project that was set up by a former film student at Fanshawe. Don't remember where I met him or how I got a hold of him, but he reached out to me initially to be a character in his web series that he's creating. It's called The Cage. You know, I gracefully accepted the role. It was just a small police role that I was cast as. And one of the cool things is the person that I was acting against was my buddy Kevin, who you may or may not have seen in previous videos, but he was in another short film from the year before that I was in and that he was in as well.
Hey, future editor Todd here. One thing I actually wanted to know regarding that was the short film that I said I was in. So I wasn't actually in the short film. I was filming sort of behind the scenes and second camera for. I was in the teaser for the short film. That one actually, well, it was submitted to a film festival this year in 2025, and it was accepted. And the whole crew and the actors, Kevin was there. Unfortunately, Dina and Chris couldn't make it, but it was myself, the writer, director, the cameraman, and Kevin. We all went to the premiere of the film festival. It was the Brantford Canadian International Film Festival, I believe is what it was called. And we actually won Best Thriller for that short film. So that was a really cool moment this year for 2025. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I completely forgot to mention that in the video. So back to it.
And so it was good to see him. And actually there was two other people that were also in that same project that were in the short film that we were in there before. So It was good to hang out with them again. I was just sort of picking up a lot of tips and tricks acting wise, because I'm not normally on this side of the camera as far as like actual productions go. But when I was there, I kind of got the opportunity to do a little bit of vlogging and behind the scenes stuff. And I think because of that, the creator of that series asked me back to help with a couple other shots. So there was a scene where we had to set up in like a laboratory. So I was just doing some camera work in there. We did that one day, and then he asked me back again. We did a oneer action sequence. That was fantastic. That was so cool to do. It was kind of a first time for everybody. I wish I had gotten the opportunity to be able to do some of the previs for it initially, especially when they were training for it, because I trained months for this fight scene. And I think it had actually ended up pretty good. We did like 16, 17 takes total. We got some really good ones. And yeah, I honestly can't wait to see what the finished product actually looks like. I think it's gonna be pretty cool, actually. One of the other things I did this year also, which was new, was, again, me and my friend Tamara, we filmed our first music video. Very interesting process. It was a first time for everybody. The artist is she's a young, I'd say R&B artist in London here. If I can find any of the stuff, I'll link the stuff below. Edited 2 versions of the video. I might link them down below as well. It was fun. Definitely learned a lot of lessons from that. Obviously, the biggest one was pre-production. We probably could have spent a little bit more time in that. And then we did this basically on a $0 budget. So if we had more time and more money, it definitely would have been that much better. But I think with what we had, it ended up pretty good. I mean, I'd definitely do it again because it was a cool experience to do. And I think the next time we definitely have probably more, maybe 2 cameras going at once, so we can kind of get more coverage going at the same time. I did a little bit of voiceover work again this year, not paid, but this one was a little bit more of an experience thing. It was for Love Yourself Canada. It's kind of like a mental health website here in town. Again, we just did it was like a little cartoon that we did, so that was pretty fun. Got to work with a few different actors, and we did some different voices, and it was a good time. I think I would definitely do it again. I know I've been trying to do that for quite a while. The experience is good. I think if I do try to continue on the voiceover aspect of things, I think it will definitely help on the resume to have more of that stuff available on my creative CV. For the most part, a lot of this year has been pretty good. As far as like fitness wise, I was doing really well, and then I had a back injury. It was more kind of self-inflicted, but it's a tough go because I was out on my back, literally, like I couldn't move, I couldn't walk for just over a week. And that was really tough for me because being a person that is very competitive and very self-sufficient, having to rely on other people, it was hard. And it was frustrating because I wouldn't say I'm like super strong, but like being a fairly physically fit person, not being able to do simple things like sit up or go to the bathroom without being in excruciating pain was very humbling. So I had to spend a large part of probably the last quarter of 2025 sort of recovering. So if you're over 30, hell, even in your 20s, don't take your body for granted. If you have the opportunity, use your benefits, go see physio, go see chiropractor, go see massage therapist, because they they did a lot of work on me, and I'm very grateful that I have benefits that does help with that, because if I didn't, I don't know if I'd honestly be sitting here right now, mostly pain-free. So it's kind of crazy how that kind of stuff happens. But you know, that kind of put a damper on a lot of my creative output, and I had a bunch of things going, and I just felt like it just wasn't clicking. So that's a mental thing that I had to get past, and it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress. This year pretty much has been pretty much a wrap. One of the other big things too that I did get the opportunity to work on was a wedding shoot. I was asked to be a second photographer for a wedding, and I definitely took up that opportunity to A, work on my photography skills, and B, I was kind of snuck in a little bit of videography. So I'm gonna give the main photographer and sort of the bride and groom sort of one of those little highlight videos of their day. It's the best I could with the coverage that I was able to get. Obviously I couldn't get both the bride and the groom separately, but I was able to get enough, and I think the video will definitely make them smile. So I was pretty happy with some of the shots. And yeah, I'm just working on that edit, and should hopefully be done in the next week or two. Going forward, I think in 2026, I've been working on a sort of a goal and schedule for what I'm gonna do with this channel. 2025, definitely there was a lot of vlogs, a lot of easy videos, and I've been challenged to do more difficult things. And I'm going to take that advice and do the difficult things. I'm gonna put myself out there a little bit more. I think that a little bit has held me back. It's hard to be told the truth sometimes, so I am going to make a very concerted effort into being proud of this channel, and being proud of what I have accomplished, what I do with this, my hobbies, and yeah. So in that, next year there might not be as many videos, but I think the quality of the videos will definitely be a lot higher. You'll be able to put in a little bit more effort into each video and really improve on the skills that are going into each one of these films and videos. I've created a full year of my steps and goals that I need to do. Sorry, my guy in Discord, but I did use ChatGPT. It's great for organization. It's awesome. I don't know what to tell you. It's great. It's a great tool. It doesn't do everything for you. You got to use it as a tool. Anyways, rant over. Yeah, so we've got the schedule up. We've got a whole thing set up so that we've got videos, behind the scenes, normal vlogs, short films, and then I've even got this place set up. As you can see, this is a new setup here. This is part of the move. My new place. I actually have a house now. So we have sort of a dedicated studio space to do things here. But this is gonna be sort of the main backdrop for probably the revamped Real TD Gaming channel. I'm definitely gonna try to add a little bit more to that one. It's definitely gone neglected. That was one of the things that I was trying to get back in 2025 as well, but it kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. We've got that set up in the pillars of creativity, and I think it'll be good. Those videos for the Real TD Gaming, a little bit low effort just so I can pump them out, but I am gonna put some effort into them, especially with this particular YouTube channel. The quality is just gonna go right up. So I think with that, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna have to edit out a lot of voice editing, a lot of noise reduction. AI is gonna come into play. 2026 is gonna be a very creative year. With that, everything's coming on: laundry, furnace. I'm gonna call it at that. That is it for this year. 2025 has been probably great. I hope you've enjoyed this year's videos. Next year, 2026, is going to be a very fun, creative time. Have a great new year. Hope you've had an awesome 2025. We'll see you guys in 2026. Ciao.